Good evening, everyone out there, and welcome along to a lovely Saturday evening. And we are here with WWR's Lauda for Season 5 and Round 11 at Qatar. Here, we're already seeing cars getting out onto the track now. Oh, of course, we have got 15 right now, so it is just going to be I think drivers are going to just be basically doing practice laps for now for this first qualifying session, as everyone is going to be able to get through to the next stage of qualifying. What we'll do right now is the length of this track is a 5.419 kilometre, or if you prefer that in miles, it is 3.367 miles. And it's got 16 corners here with one DRS zone. Of course, it was the tyres that we have are going to be the hardest of the bunch. It's going to be the C3 softs, the C2 mediums, and the C1 hard compound tyre. So the hardest of the lot. As you know, that this is a high degradation track, originally purposely built for motorcycle racing, but previously did end up getting adapted during, I think it was the 2022 season, was it? 2021 season, sorry, where it ended up becoming on the calendar in the 21st of November 2021. So it was very interesting. Of course, we did end up having a lot of controversy with it, with being the temperature and such. End up hearing with the drivers passing out and everything in the cockpit, so very dangerous at that time anyway. But it's good to see that it's getting changed to I think it was a later date in the season. I think it's the penultimate round now on the calendar for this season. Fortunately enough, drivers around here won't have to worry about that. The most they're going to have to worry about is what ARL just done there, coming out of turn 6. And actually seen the exact same thing happen just 2 days ago in a league that I commentated on. You could check that out previously in the live section in the previous streams. You'll see that with IRC Esports. That was a decent race with a couple of interesting strategies, and I've seen a driver at turn 10 go a bit wide there like ARL did, and just touch that curb but put a bit too much throttle down. So just seeing some drivers on the laps at the moment. We'll see if we get to someone at the moment. It's just not starting the lap. Oh, we've seen on so 122.737. Of course, most of these drivers are all on the medium compound tyres for now. But what we're going to do for the moment is we'll have a look at the drivers' standings and the way things stand at the moment. We've got Onsu at the top on 175 points. Ricky Maru is in second on 88 points. Then we've got Steve on 85, Mildave on 78 in fourth. 70 points for King Panda. Then we've got Lewis on 62, 50 for Atsu in seventh. XD Pro is in eighth on 50 points. 42 points for Mr. Formula 1. Then we've got Night Flash on 34, tying with I Fishers for that 10th position. Check in 12th on 26 points. On 23 points is Jay in 13th, and 14th is Chuck Norris on 22 points. Tiny is on 21 points in 15th, and we've got Ryanair in 16th, 17th for Apple on 16 points. Same with Noob Killer, and same with Jack Vaughan, all tying for that. And then we've got Tyler in 15th place. So that is the drivers' standings. We've seen some drivers putting on lap times. We'll just sit with Gent right now. Looking at the constructors' standings, Williams are on 267 points. with Sauber in second on 142, McLaren in third on 102. 1 point behind McLaren is Ferrari on 101 points. In fifth is Haas on 92 points. Aston Martin is on 74, then 2 points behind them. In seventh is Red Bull on 72. And then we've got Mercedes in 8th on 71 points, Alpine on 62 points. In 9th and 10th is VCarb on 51 points. So just give me just a moment, folks. So anyone watching along right now, feel free to fire any comments in. Yeah, if you do end up liking the content, if you're not subscribed already, it'd be much appreciated. Would really help out the channel, as I'm trying to get it to grow as much as possible. We'll have a look further down. We've got mini plates here. Just coming around turn 10 there, nicely does it. Being careful on that exit curb. Now around the triple right-hander of 12, 13, and then 14. So it reminds me a bit like of, what was it, 15, 16 and 17 at Qatar, in Austin, Texas. Just that triple right-hander that they've got there. Many plates still across the line, goes fifth, the 122.821. Let's see who's going to be up next. Floyd quite far up. We've got Lewis now. Comes across the line, goes 7th to 123.252. So sorry about that there, folks. Just on to deal with, just a bit busy, sorry, with something at that moment. Speedy spud there, just coming out of turn 10, around 11, it's just a little small kink. Then into 12, 13, and then turn 14. Got a few drivers just retiring now. Now around the final corner. See what McLaren is going to be able to do. Goes 13 to 124.839. Only one left still to do a time is Dirty Taffy. So we're just going to be waiting for a lot of the drivers should be a way to come into the pits and retire, just to move on to the next session, or some drivers may end up using it as a sort of time to just get some practice in, get some race pace under their belt. We will soon see. laps now. Go. I think that's everyone that's set their time now. What's Floyd going to be doing? Is he just coming into the pits? I think he may be, or is he just going on one more lap? No, you're just diving into the pits, of course. We have seen the pit lane changed for this. All Elite Racing saying good evening, welcome along. Glad to have you with us. Looking on right now, just Q1. Some not as any drivers to be getting eliminated from Q1, just basically a little practice session for drivers. So how are you doing this evening? Oh, it's Tyler. Welcome along, Tyler. It's all good. Don't worry about that at all. Let's see, Buckle, they're starting a lap, I think. They are, did go quicker on their time anyway. 264. Oh, Atsu in the chat there shouting for Ricky to go. And yep, he is going. 121.743 for now. So we've seen anyone else diving into the pits, or is Mel Dave and Mini Plit's going to stay on their laps? It seems that they are. They're just going to run out the clock. Got AJLS there saying hello, welcome along. Yeah, but it is a bit of a waste of time putting a time in, but at the same time it gives you a chance to get a little bit acclimatised to the conditions for the next qualifying session without binning it like Mr. Plitz almost does. And he almost smashes that up like a plate there, but manages to keep it out the barrier at the very least there. Oh, you're ARL. Ah, welcome along then. Glad to have you along. Where did you get a second there? 122.412. Nice time there. Of course, we've still got plenty of time still to go. We've still got Q2 and 3. Many plates coming in. Yep, into the pits they come. Mel Dave, I think they're just going to be finishing this lap. I don't think they realise that it's only 15. Or... So everyone out in the pits, Bucko deciding to come out and just run out the clock, so we're going to be here for another 3 minutes, roughly. we'll see how the time does go. So, anyone who's watching along right now, anyone got any opinions on the McLaren situation at the moment? It would be quite interesting to hear you guys' takes on it, because well, we do know that it's been a bit messed up to say the least right now. As yeah, it's just not been the best to say the very least with the sort of the team dynamic at the moment. It's not gonna. It's not going to really go well, I would say. Because, well, looking back previously to previous times, I mean, McLaren always say that they've had this ideology of two number one drivers, which is impossible. They could be equal, but yeah. And we've seen this happen in 2007 when we had Fernando Alonso, the youngest double world champion ever, joining with McLaren with Lewis Hamilton. Fair enough, no discredit to Lewis and everything that he has achieved, of course. But yeah, like, it's if they don't work together, then it's going to make things worse. Thing is, if Lando can't overtake Piastri, then they shouldn't gift him the position. I think they should only force it upon him. Yeah, I do understand where people are coming from with that argument, but sometimes it could mess up the whole thing for it. In the end, we'll get on that in a minute. We'll have a quick rundown. Ricky Mario getting the fast time, 1:21.743. Then we've got the ARL. Chuck Norris after that. Then on suit, Stephen fifth, sixth for Mini Plates, Lewis seventh, eighth for Mel, Dave, Benji in ninth, 10th for Buckle, Jen in 11th, 12th for Dirty Taffy, Floyd in 13th, 14th for Jay, and Speedy Spud at the back of the pack. So, of course, it doesn't matter. Q1 right now, as that was technically just a little warm-up session for everyone. But yeah, as you were saying, AJ, it seems if he is proven to be faster, then yeah, but at the same time, he is the one who's got like a 40-point advantage for winning the title. Of course, there is still 8 races to go, but wouldn't you rather increase that chance before Red Bull get that yes with the chase and challenge for the driver's title? They need to put eggs in Lando's basket. Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, if it's over a P2 and P3, then more arguably do it. But if it's over a race 1, then yeah, you make a fair point. Like, I mean, AJ, I could see you're leaning more towards the what do you call it, Will Buxton side as well, and I do agree with that, with what he said, of course, and like I did previously say, of course, they are just ruining their chances by battling each other so much. I mean, they threw away a victory there with their battling. Because of that, ended up allowing Leclerc through into second, and then eventually got the lead. Of course, doing well on tyres, of course. Done very well on them tyres, to say the least, actually. And rumour has it he's still nursing them to this day. Definitely somebody you want as a tyre sitter. I agree with both sides. I mean, I understand that there's probably a clause in Piastri's contract to say like he's given
like Piastri's not allowed to be number 2, and I understand that, but in all honesty, and all these guys are as gladiators out there battling it out for that title, of course, that coveted World Formula One Championship. But there's got to be a certain moment where you realise and you're like, look, the odds are highly stacked against me right now. I know I don't have to, but it would be in the best interest to help out and help Norris win. I mean, it's just one of these things, you know. Of course, every great in history has had a great teammate backing them up for the majority of their ride, to say the least, you know. Like, well, Lewis Hamilton with Bottas, Verstappen with Perez, and, you know, Schumacher with Barrichello. To be honest though, right, I could understand because Norris is making it's like he's frustrated, and I understand why. Benji putting in a 122.399 there, fastest time on the board right now, only time on the board, with ARL in second, 125, of course. That was just a double warm-up lap, but Ricky Maru putting on top for 122.289. We've seen the times coming in quickly. But yes, to be honest, I think it's a bit one of them that where it needs to be. It's, of course, he doesn't have to. Of course, their contracts will both be for equal footing. They can't use team orders really, but in other scenarios, you know, why Hungary in that case, you know, but. Yeah, I think all in all the team is just bottling it right now. But Onsu putting in the 121.861 there. Yeah, you could either way. But regardless of that, right, we'll get off that since we're getting times coming in right now. Oh, you see Dirty Taffy unfortunately invalidated their laps. Speedy Spuds though is just coming through sector 3 through turns 12, 13 and 14. Now coming into 15 and still keeping that pretty much flat out there. Nice downforce on that McLaren. Around the final corner now, being careful with track limits there on the exit. 6th, the 122.557. Where is Benji in 3rd, 122.399. Nicely done. We'll go further down. We'll see the Williams there off the track, getting out of the way. I think that was that Meldev or Onsu. It would have been one or the other. I think that may have been Onsu, but right now we've got Gent and the Alpine to the line. It goes 9th with 123.356. We're going to go further down right now. Dirty Taffy has invalidated their lap time again, unless it was previous lap time validation from the final corner. Chuck Norris though in that silver. Their teammates sitting in 2nd place right now. We'll see if they've got what it takes to carry that with them. Getting a little bit shaky there out of turn 14 there. Into 15, around the final corner right about now, getting over to the left hand side, touching that curve there on the inside, using up the track as much as possible there to the line. The time they're going to be able to put in, they put in a 123.079. It's good enough for 9th place right now. Many plates there, hoping to pick up a little bit of a toe there from that silver up ahead. But now Chuck Norris gets out of the way, but around turns 1 and 2 quite nicely there. Now we've got 3. taking as much of that curb as possible, getting over to the left-hand side there, getting to flying it to the right for turn 4, and going out to the left and back to the right again for 5, before returning and getting down onto the brakes for turn 6. Now into 7 here. Nicely does it, using up that curb on the left hand side as you go through 8 and 9 into 10, getting the car flinging it over to the right hand side there to get it to open up the corner as much as possible. Now to the triple right here of 12, 13 and now 14, still keeping that foot flat to the floor there, just pinging it down the gear for turn 14, just keeping it within track limits there, out of turn 15, now into 16, the final corner. Can he keep it within track limits? Yes, he does. Now to the line, Onsu's retired in the pits, mini plates to third, 122.123. That was actually a really good time there for the Ferrari driver. Welcome along, all those who are freshly joining us. Steve on a lap, not easy. I think he's getting ready to do a lap though. Yeah, all you folks who are new to the channel, if you enjoyed the content, a like would be appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying the content and enjoyed the channel, please feel free to leave a subscribe. It would really help the channel out and helps the channel grow, and we could help get the channel out there as much as possible. That's Steve right now, going for a lap, and he fudges it up. Unless he was just going in the pits anyway, in which case he doesn't. Jay right now is sitting in the elimination zone, currently got a fastest time of 123.545, and he's going to have to improve at least half a second in order to get up into the top 10, and that is not going to be the way that you improve on your time, unfortunately, coming into turn 7. Let's see how he is going to do. He's got some time left on the board in case he needs to go again, so if he bottles this lap up, he could jump back into the pits and come back out and get a time back in on the board. See how the Mercedes man is going to do coming around turn 15 there, using a bit of that battery there on the exit. Around 16, and you're going to have that DRS open up just for the briefest of moments before you finish your lap. Manages to go 8th, improves by almost a second, so nicely done there. Floyd improves, but not enough to get in. Let's see, we've got Dirty Taffy is the driver who is still yet to set a time. So, let me see, Dirty Taffy, only good enough for 14th there, 124.258. So, I don't think they're going to be able to get around again and get another lap in, so I think they're going to be eliminated. Bucko still has time to be able to get back out. Lewis now drops down into the drop zone after Gent puts in a 122.749. The Haas of, the Sauber of Ricky Maru puts in a 121.694. Got Floyd just, they've just finished it up, goes 10th, 122.749. Let's see if they've got what it takes to be able to stay in. That was a good enough time to be able to get them to through into the next stage of qualifying, the final stage of qualifying. Chuck Norris right now just coming up to the final corner. Have they got what it takes to beat a 122.749 and get up into that 10th position? No, they don't. They miss out just by the slimmest of margins by 700ths of a second. So they have to settle down for 11th, and I don't think they're going to be able to get another time in on the board. So we'll go Benji jumping into the pits. ARL did move up into 4th and 122.078. So I think it's between Lewis and Buckle, whereas Lewis just coming up to turn 4. Buckle is just coming up to turn 12 now. We'll see who's in that Red Bull there. Is that Red Bull? No. Whoever it is, it just came into the pit lane anyway. And now Floyd jumping into the pit lane. Buckle's going to be the next driver up, and did I see him go a little bit wide there? I think I did. But Buckle on their lap now. This is going to be their final attempt, coming around turns 1, 2 and 3. Gent has retired from the session, so where are they right now? They're in 12th and 122.916. They're going to be starting at the highest position of 12th. Buckle into turn 6 now. Turned that car in a bit too early, I think, and didn't manage to carry that momentum around turn 6. Manages to do nicely there, though, to 7 and 8 and 9 there, into 10. As it get it turned in nicely there, being careful on that curb on the exit. Of course, it's turn 6 you really want to be careful for on the exit. And do I see a Red Bull there? That's actually Dirty Taffy there, hoping to get a slipstream off of Buckle, but I don't think it's going to work. He's not going to be able to have the time to get a lap in, and I think this is going to be it for Dirty Taffy. So right now we're going to go with Buckle. This is going to be their final lap. Ricky Maru retired from the Grand Prix. So we'll go Buckle, only manages to get 14th position at 123.774. Lewis, though, is the one on a lap. Jay is safe. So it's between Lewis and Floyd right now. If Lewis could get a good lap time in here, he could move up and move on to the next stage of qualifying. Getting a little bit of shape there around turn 15, but coming into the final corner now. Nice and smooth. He's got that prancing horse tamed as he comes down to the line. Is he going to make it through? Yes, he does. 122.551. Just narrowly goes ahead of Jay. Jay, let's see if they've got an answer for it. They are improving on their time. And I think that was a 6th place, was that? Yep, it was 6th place for Jay there. Nicely done from them. What time did they be able to put on the board? We'll be able to see they put in a 122.216. So the 10 drivers that are going to be moving on to the next stage of qualifying are Ricky Maru, who managed to get the fastest lap time of 121.694. And then just over a tenth and a half behind was Onsu. Then we've got Stephen, 3rd, 4th for ARL, mini plates on 5th, 6th for Jay, Benji Buckets, 7th, 8th for Mel Dave, Speedy Spud in 9th and 10th for Lewis, and they will be moving on to the next stage of qualifying. Those who will not is Floyd, after narrowly missing out there. Chuck Norris in 12th, 13th for Gent, Buckle in 14th, and Dirty Taffy will be starting at the back of the grid in 15th position. Now, moving on to the next stage of qualifying, where we're going to have 12 minutes of these 10 drivers all battling it out for that pole position, and the closest that is going to be to turn 1. Let's have at it, folks. Who is going to be the fastest here tonight in qualifying? Stay tuned and we will find out in roughly about 13 minutes time. Oh, we've seen activity, a little bit of battling there in the pit lane. Got on through there, just managing to narrowly get out in front of mini plates there. A little bit of ghosty shenanigans calling on. Of course, if that was real, that would have been an unsafe release for the Williams team. But fortunately enough, it's a game. A game that some folk take really seriously. Which is always good, because it always makes things very competitive. So, mini plates is going to be the first one up after the volumes of Onsu lets him past. So, folks, I've got a quick question for everyone out there. I was wondering if you had any suggestions for the channel. I was just wondering if you'd like to fire any comments in, and, well, let me know if there would be anything that you'd like to recommend for me to possibly do on the channel, like possibly like a podcast type situation, talking about instances in Formula 1 and such, and what's going on. Just whatever you choose, it would just be interesting to get everyone's take. But right now we've got many plates on a lap, getting into turn 1 nicely there. Of course, we'll turn off that indicator there, and we'll turn off that one there. Getting around turns 1, 2 and 3 nicely. Into 4 now, getting right across there to the right hand side and just taking as much of a bite of out of that apex as possible at 4. Now into 6, keeping it nice and tight and using that track on the exit, being careful on the throttle. Into 7, throwing that car in there, and now into 8, smoothly does it, and same with 9, into 10. Would be careful with the corner does open up on the exit. Now down into turn 12, where we're going to be not lifting off the accelerator at all in these qualifying conditions, maybe pinging it down a gear in turn 14, but now around 15, using up all that track as possible. Around 15 into 16 now. Being careful of track limits on the exit, and to the line they go with the DRS open for the final 100 metres to the line of 121.721. Nicely done. But Ricky Maru smashes that by 2/10 and puts him in 21.516. I think Jay did unfortunately invalidate their lap somehow. Onsu must have spun out. Benji put it in 5th place at 122.421. Lewis at 122.411. He's got exactly a 100th of a second quicker than Benji. We'll go further down there. Dave getting out of the way must have messed up their lap. Steve, though, has not messed up their lap and will be the next one to set their time. Coming around the final corner in racing green Aston Martin. DRS open and goes forward to 121.956. We'll go further down. We've got Speedy Spud speeding it away around turn 15 and into the final corner now. What time is that Papaya car going to be able to do? Let's see, 122.591. It's good enough for 7th place as things stand. Jay not on the lap, Dave not on the lap, and ARL somehow into the wall at turn 9, sorry. And he's going to have to try and get pointing the right way and stop reversing, or that will happen. That's a bit unfortunate, we'll say. After getting quite a good time in there, and would have been starting P3, unfortunately ends up getting invalidated. Oh, that's always great when the controller takes over randomly. Yeah, we'll say that sounds quite frustrating to say the least. Yeah, fortunately enough, I've never had that happen. I've accidentally hit the controller by accident and sort of had the controller take over. Yep, it did unfortunately manage to disqualify you. Ricky Mari, though, is on a time. Let's see what time they're going to be able to put in after putting a 121.516. So they're going to go quicker. 121.393. Flipping hell. That is incredible. Yeah, Tyler, I've got to agree with you there. The game is not the best. And to be honest, I don't want to basically poop on their parade, to say the least, but yeah, from when I remember it when I was a kid, it was totally different, and it's like they're caring more about money now than they ever did. I mean, this culture thing with microtransactions and such, and it's just, I disagree with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, fair enough in these free-to-play type games like Fortnite and whatever, fair enough. Not a fan of Fortnite. Don't really like the game, to be honest. But yeah, like, it's one of them. Like, not going to deny Epic Games did do very well with the microtransactions, I will say, because it's all cosmetic. It doesn't matter, if I remember right. But yeah, the way the games are going nowadays, like a game that I play sometimes is Overwatch, and you see that, and it's just, yeah, it's the way compare from where you had to pay for the game, and now it's free to play, and well, yeah, sometimes you kind of feel a little bit robbed when stuff like that happens. But off that topic right now, we're going to go on to Jay as he's starting his lap. He's, I think, is most likely going to be the final lap, and maybe not. They're going to have to, they're going to rein that in. But yeah, some things now, it's not the same. But yeah, regardless of that, off that topic now, because yeah, right now on Sue on a lap, starting their lap course, not getting a competitive time in the first round of qualifying times here in Q3, but 128.431. Let's see if he's going to have what it takes to claim that pole position. A 121.393 is the time to beat. We've still got a few drivers in the pit lane right now. I think that maybe Lewis and Benji and mini plates all starting to come out now. Let's see how Onsu is going to be doing as they're coming around turn 10 now. They'll wind in the left hand of 11 into the first of 3 right-handers of turn 12. And then we've got 13 right there, and then 14. Being careful with track limits, nicely does it. And just managing to stay within track limits there was that Williams going around turn 15. Around 16 we go, and to the line. What's he going to be able to put in it? 121.698. Not enough to get P1 as things stand. But right now, he's going to have to end up settling for P2 at very least. Jay! Shoot! He's invalidated his lap time, so he's going to have to try and... Oh no, that's it. Unfortunately, he's not got enough fuel to go again. That's an absolute bummer there. Ends up P8 at the very least. Of course, Dave still has to get a time in, so Jay's not going to be... is going to be starting in P9 if Dave gets a time in, at the very least. Lewis was the first Ferrari out, coming down into turn 1 now, and will be closely followed a few seconds behind by Benji. Lewis doing quite nicely there, navigating the first a little section of turns 1, 2 and 3. Nicely does it. You've got to be careful there on turn 6, especially on the exit. Let's see what Lewis is going to do. They've got 122.411. That was their previous time. We'll see if we get that to come up there. Does it? Oh, he's just a little bit up on their time going into sector 3, and they may improve on their time, but they're not going to be improving anymore after they have invalidated their lap time, unfortunately. Benji though, let's see what they're going to be doing. 121.652. Nice time there. We've got the Aston Martin of Steve's going to be the next one up. Where does he go? P2, the 121.463. Ricky Maru is the next driver up, currently sitting on that provisional pole position right now with a 121.393. Is he going to be able to improve on that? He does. 121.115. Incredible time there. We'll go further down here. We've got Speedy Spud in McLaren coming across the line now. Improves 121.947. We've just seen, I think that was Onsu, 121.698, and mini plates 121.721. Good enough for 4th and 5th there for Onsu and mini plates. And Dave, unfortunately, invalidating their lap time. Jay will be a little bit happy about that, considering they're going to be starting an extra place up. So mini plates did invalidate in sector 2. Set at 21.361, he says, so that would have been good enough for 2nd place. Unfortunately, not managing to be able to complete the lap within the track limits. Ricky Maru did, though, 121.115, over 3/10 quicker than Steve. Benji Bucket in 3rd, Onsu 4th, 5th for mini plates. Then we had the Speedy Spud in 6th, 7th for Lewis, J in 8th, 9th for Dave, and ARL unfortunately being disqualified. And we'll see if we can have a quick look at ARL's time. We could see it was a 121.893. So right now what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be having a little break for a few minutes. I'll give us a chance to go and get a quick drink and such, and we'll be right back. Ben! Welcome along, bud. You should be just wait to get ready in just a moment, folks. Good quality, don't know how I pulled that off. Have a good stream, I'll crash for you. Don't crash. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Get the win. And it's always fun when your neighbours like to be extra noisy when coming into the close. Catch you later, Ben. Best of luck out there. Yeah, but I think that's one thing that Benji was actually messaging about in the Discord, as if the track is still a killer for the fuel. Like the recommendation is off. So yeah, looking on right. Oh, Ricky Maru going for the offset right away on the hard compound tyre. Same as Speedy Spud, J, ARL, and Bucko, all going for that offset of starting on the hard. So 2/3 of the grid starting on the medium compound tyres, and the rest of them all starting on the hard. So that's a bit of an interesting strategy. So should see Steve and Benji manage to get the jump at the start. We'll see if that is going to be the case. It's a bit of a long haul into turn one, not too long. Not as long as Mexico, Jeezy Peeps. That is incredibly long into turn one, so it's a bit like, remember Sochi in Russia? That had like a good long old, until the proper first braking zone. Of course, there was that one turn, but turn two is technically the braking zone. But yeah, that was quite a long one, and yeah, we've got that here tonight. So we'll see if Steve's going to have what it takes to get the jump on Ricky Mario at the start, or is Ricky Mario going to be able to pull that gap right away? Of course, they were quite dominant in qualifying, being 3.5 tenths quicker than Steve. We'll see if we've got that be able to carry that momentum through into the race, as now the drivers are just starting to get lined back up on the grid. Seeing a bit of a situation right now, like a bit like back. Was it Monza? We've seen that happening at a lot of drivers. Or I think it was at Guan Yu Zhou was actually right the way back and taking ages to get lined up, unfortunately. But it's the two RBs. I think that was their Bucko and ARL. But now we're about to get ready to get underway racing. And we've got 5 red lights, and we are away for the start of round 11 here. Ricky Murray managing to get a good start, but it looks like Steve managed to get a better start. Not in the second phase though, getting a bit of a wiggle on. Is the Silver going to be able to take the lead, keep the lead? No, but it looks like the Aston Martin is flying it up the inside and is going to manage to take the lead of this Grand Prix by turn 2. Onsu managing to get up a place. We'll move that back to position changes there. So Onsu up 2 places. Ricky Maru dropping down 2 after starting on the hard compound tyres. Now falling down another position. And that is a bit tragic there for Ricky Maru. But if he could just manage to stay on the back of them and save them tyres till further on. And we've seen a dive there from Floyd on Chuck Norris up the inside going into turn 6. Who is going to be walking away with the 11th place here. They're still side by side as they're going around turn 7. Floyd not letting it go. There's a McLaren off the track there, and that is Speedy Spud He's not going to be very speedy in that gravel trap. Looking down there, so at the bottom of your screen, we can still see Chuck Norris battling it out there with Floyd. And that's for that 10th position. Did you see? I think it may be Floyd going off the track there. Got a comment saying Sochi was a good track. It was a decent track, had its ups and downs. Some parts were actually quite good, some not. But looking on right now at Mini, he's going for the move on his teammate, moving to the right hand side out of that slipstream from using some of that battery, and now moves up into 5th position. Welcome along all those who are watching right now. Great to have you with us for this action-packed 29 lap Grand Prix. We've just moved on to lap 2. Where Steve has managed to take the lead after starting in 2nd place with Ricky Mario being on them hard compound tyres, as came at a major disadvantage for them. Of course, looking at that, ARL's the only driver to move up a position in the moments due to being on them hard compound tyres. Looking on right now, Ricky Mario trying to squeeze up the inside there to try and get that 4th place, to try and keep that 4th place there from mini plates, and does manage to do just that. And what's up with Buckle? Has Buckle got damage? Nope, he's not. Bit unusual, but hopefully all is good. Mini will get a podium here. Okay then, let's see if you are going to be psychic here. We'll see if that is going to be the case, but right now Onsu is going for the lead here past Steve using that DRS. We'll move further back as it looks like Mini is going to be going for a move, not managing to get close enough there. Ricky Mario getting out of shape on them hard compound tyres. Is Mini going to be able to take advantage here? Getting the undercut, it looks like he is there, getting that absolutely beautiful switchback. Is he going to manage to have the straight line speed? It doesn't look like it, and he has to yield and keep in 5th position for now. Just stick behind that Silver J, getting a 3-second time penalty. That's definitely not going to be helping, especially around here. And oh, could this be the chance? We've seen Silver getting a little bit out of shape there. Going up around turn 7, he can get a better line here. Oh, he's getting tight, squeezing that Silver up there onto that curb. And this battle here, Mini going for it here, that number 5. Once covenanted by the 4-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel. Let's see, is Mini going to be able to do it? We'll tune back in with him in a few moments. Right now, Steve is still on the tail of Onsu and is going to have that DRS though. Is Steve going to be able to catch up enough to the back of that Williams? Doesn't look like he's going to be chilling just behind for now. I think it looks like Taffy is going for it on Floyd here, going up the inside into turn 1, taking that 11th place there. Is Floyd going to be able to come back at him with a little switchback here, getting the better launch out of turn 2? It looks like he is, after the Red Bull goes wide on the exit of turn 2. It's going to be a drag race down into turn 4. Who is going to be able to get it? Dirty Taffy is going wide again at turn 4, and that compromises Floyd's exit. Now into turn 6, these two are battling out ruthlessly now with each other, and Floyd trying to make use of that mistake from Dirty Taffy as they come around turn 6. He's going to have that inside line going around turn 7. The Red Bull keeping it going, trying to carry that momentum around the corner, does, and manages to get that 11th place. That was absolutely incredible battle in there from them two, and this isn't even for a top position. Oh, Steve using that DRS now and getting past. Same with Ricky Mario, getting past Benji there. And now Onsu and Benji both drop down. Steve and Ricky Maru both jump up. Floyd manages to take back that 11th position, sorry. But then it goes back to the Red Bull, who's going to be getting a better launch. He's going on the inside, going into turn 3, sorry. And it looks like Floyd's going to be able to get the move done. It's the Alpine of Gent going to go up the inside at turn 5. Turn 4 and 5, going up the inside there. That's not something you see all the time. Sticking it around the outside at turn 6. It's going to turn into the inside. Going into turn 7. We did see the Red Bull lose a place here earlier. And it looks like that's going to be the case again, where it gets finalised. Nicely does the Alpine there. We'll get the position changes up right now. So most drivers up only 1 or 2 positions right now. Onsu making it 3 there. 3 there. So is Mini getting past Benji. Benji actually dropping a place there, and I thought they were enough of a gap to get up to get the DRS on Ricky Maru there. Oh, interesting. Yep, Gent did do certainly a great move there. Going to move further back. We're going to see him go for a move on Floyd this time anytime soon. So, Buckle getting a penalty there. A penalty? A pit stop, sorry, and having the penalty of a broken front wing. So, not the best, of course, especially with this track being a front limited track. Of course, you're going to need that downforce at the front end especially. So, yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate one there. Ricky Maru getting a 3-second time penalty. Mini Plates has got a 3-second time penalty also. That is not going to be good for them. Oh, Steve pings it down the gear to get the revs back up, then pings it back up the gear. And that was actually quite an interesting technique there. And uses that to get the extra revs needed to reach the higher speed. So, nicely does it from Steve moving up. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that's Buckle. Yep, Buckle unfortunately spinning out there. So who is going to be walking away with the victory here tonight, folks? Who is your money on? Top 5 right now with Steve, Onsu, Ricky Maru, Mini Plats and Benji Bucket all sitting for that first place right now. Or could it be a wild card? And one who's not been up there, could it be ARL, who did end up getting disqualified in Q1 for an unfortunate hardware issue. Oh, Mini getting out of shape there. Dirty Taffy, 3-second time penalty there. Steve now getting passed by Onsu. Oh, so Tyler going with Ricky wins with Steve second and Mini third. Interesting. Is that on track or off track, considering Ricky Maru and Mini both have 3-second time penalties, so they've got a bit of a disadvantage in that regard. They won't be able to just overtake and simply get the position. It's going to be a lot more difficult than that. They're going to have to build up a 3-second gap to the car behind. Either that or hope that the car behind ends up with a time penalty themselves. Steve and Ricky Maru swapping places there. A very unusual spot, to be honest. But Ricky Maru has maybe just heard your message, Tyler, and heard you saying, punch it, go for that win. And remember, he's got a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to have to try and build a gap as much as possible. And this could be where the harder tyres are starting to come in. And I literally looked down and just seen your message as that came in. So Ricky Maru taking the lead, Onsu dropping down to third with Steve in second place. So we're almost there to your prediction right now. We're just waiting for Mini to be able to get up into that third position after he did say that they were going to be able to get in and on the podium. So looking at the tyres, Mel Dave jumping into the pits there, onto them hard tyres. So you think the hard tyres are starting to become the tyre to be on right now? Is that what you're saying? That the crossover period is starting to go, and it's starting to go into favour of the harder compound tyres, yeah? I'm guessing that is what you are going to be meaning. If that's the case right now, Ricky Maru is in for a treat. Yeah, and that's exactly what you're saying, mate. Let's see, is Mini going to be able to go for anything here? It doesn't look like it this lap just yet. He's using some of that battery, but it's not going to be enough as the drivers ahead do have DRS also. We'll work on behind from Gent, who did just recently get a 3-second time penalty. Is Floyd going to be going for the move here for this 10th position? Dirty Taffy getting another 3-second time penalty. Floyd jumps up the inside there and keeps it in a bit too tight, I would say, and ends up having to leaving that door wide open there. Now just rounding through the final sector, Jay getting a 3-second time penalty. We're going to be seeing them cropping up quite quickly soon. Like a bit more quicker than usual, because the tyres are starting to go off. Looking on right now at Onsu. Is he going to go for the move on the inside on Steve? Nope, he decides against it. Jay just waiting patiently behind the Lewis. Of course, there's only 1.2 seconds of a gap to Benji just up ahead, so instead of battling, it'd be better for them to work together in order to try and get that position. Floyd, though, not caring about that, and he's throwing all that out the window and is trying to get past Gent as quickly as he can. But looking at Speedy Spud, who's got them older hard tyres on, and being very cautious there, going into turn 4, deciding against going for the move. Yep, time for the box for the medium runners. Yep, definitely, I would say, in at the very least another lap, or say the end of this lap, maybe another lap, possibly. I did see a medium soft happen here just recently, but it was quite unusual, to be honest. I can't remember if it worked out well or not. Lewis, 3-second time penalty, and he definitely got another warning there after Jay gets past him. Jay just keeping it within track limits there after sliding out there, just keeping one wheel on the track. Spectacular there. You see Benji is now into the pits. And they're going to go 3 wide, going into turn 1. ARL gets the double overtake with Jay blocking that Ferrari in. Is Jay going to manage to keep that position? Yes, he does. But hold on a minute, he's got to get some excellent defending skills here, which he does, and he manages to keep that 4th position. Absolutely spectacular there. Gent now and Speedy Spud battling out now as they're coming around turn 3. It looks like Speedy Spud's managed to do that. Minnie and Benji both came into the pits, yep. We'll see if they've got what it takes in order to get a good result here. They're going to have a good undercut here. Of course, Minnie looking on for a better undercut, because then they could possibly end up pulling away and getting that lead that they need. We didn't see the undercut being too powerful previously. Looking on right now, we see Floyd and Gent going, Speedy and Gent going side by side going into turn 12, and Speedy Spud ends up being the tatty in the lead of this battle, and Gent unfortunately having the handling of a potato. Who is in Jay losing that position to ARL this time round. Chuck Norris into the pits and struggling to get the car slowed down there to make sure it didn't get a 10-second penalty. Let's go and see Ricky Maru and Steve as they're battling it out. And they could see, I think, is that Buckle just up ahead? Yep, it is. So we could see Onsu, Ricky Maru and Steve all right next to each other. Mini Plates has actually managed to catch up to the back of Speedy Spud. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. And I think that's Buckle. Is that Buckle off into the wall? Hopefully they could get started again before any safety car does happen. Yep, there we go, nicely does it, so we'll keep racing away for now. Mini Plates still trying to get past Speedy Spud, and he's going to want to do that as soon as they can. Of course, sometimes it may actually be better to sit behind for now and go for it at the DRS zone, as Steve is into the pits now and he'll be fitting that White Wall Pirelli hard compound tyre. See, is Jay going to be able to go for the move? Nope, not yet. We'll move further down right now with Mini Plates, who's going for that move on Speedy Spud. Is Steve going to be able to get to the end of the pit lane before they come to it? Coming across the line now, and they both cross the line now. Looks like he's going behind Speedy Spud here. Is he? No, Speedy Spud, he just manages to get out just in front. This is what he needed. He may not have managed to get one of them, but he's got he managed to get one of them also, so it works out in the end. JT Gent and Floyd swapping places there. JT Gent keeping right to the right hand side there. Definitely picked up a load of marbles there. Yep, most certainly the undercut has worked. Gap to the leader for Mini Plates is 24 seconds, and of course it takes about 23 seconds for a pit stop to happen, so Ricky Maru could still take the victory here in terms of after the first battles happen. Onsu still staying out, same with Lewis. So that is quite interesting. 14 laps on them medium compound tyres. I would have expected if they're going on the mediums to be going on to the hards later on, but we'll see if that's going to be the case at one point soon enough, if they're going to be going on to the softs or the hard compound tyres. We're going to move further down to Speedy Spud, who's not managing to keep the gap up on Steve. And Mini Plates has actually pulled away. What is the gap now? 24.1 seconds. So Ricky Maru still quicker at the moment. And technically Onsu could still get in. Yep, Ricky Murray will have the softer compound at the end. Also, yep, you are correct in that. But yeah, it's just depending on if the undercut is going to work or not. The gap to the leader, 23.2 seconds. He's going to have to try and keep going and pushing as much as he can in this early stage anyway. So Onsu into the pits now. What is Lewis going to do? Are they going to stay out and go for a medium soft? Nope, they're jumping into the pits also. Wise call. And honestly, this pit entry is honestly an optical illusion. It honestly makes me think that you're like the line doesn't come up until later than expected. So it's one of them that sort of surprises you. Like you expect it to be a lot earlier, and here you are stopping in the middle of the pit lane. But yeah, we're looking right now, Lewis, they're going to be passed by Mel Dave. They could see that Ferrari just up ahead. Is he going to manage to get up there? Nope, he doesn't. Manages to catch up to the back of Lewis anyway. So move further up right now. So the three that are still yet to pit is Jay, IRL and Ricky Maru, all who started on them hard compound tyres. Same as Speedy Spud, who's down in 7th place at the moment. So we've got one prediction in right now for Ricky wins, Steve P2 and Mini P3. We'll see if that is going to be the case at this moment. At this moment, as ARL jumps into the pits, he's going to come out behind Steve, I think. We'll be able to find out if that will be the case. It's definitely going to be behind the plates anyway. And it may be actually even more than that. ARL dropping right down the park there. And he's going to be all the way down into 8th place, 9th place, 7th place. So all the gaps are starting to open up at the moment. There's not much in terms of fighting right now because Mel Dave isn't going to manage to keep the gap up at the moment. Speedy Spud just coming out the pits and is onto the medium compound tyres, and I'm expecting Jay and Ricky Maru to be doing the same. Looking at the gap though right now, it's sitting at 21 seconds for mini plates for taking that pole, that top position. Buckle off the track again, just manages to get going again. So that's fortunate there. Yep, Mini is net P1 right now, as the stats that I have right now is 23-second pit loss under green flag conditions, 17 seconds for safety car conditions. So we'll see if that is going to be the time. So we'll see Mini Plates going to be taking the lead of this Grand Prix. We'll see how far Ricky Maru does fall down. Steve in 2nd now. Ricky Maru down 3.2 seconds, so it's actually more like 27 seconds pit stop here. So my stats are a bit off there. What can Ricky do on those mediums? Yeah, I mean he's going to have to try and build, get that down. He's right behind Steve though, who are both on the older hard compound tyres. And they've got to make sure they get them to the end. Ricky Maru could easily just punt it until the end and just punch a hole in that air and see what he can do. Of course, he'll be able to push. He's not going to have to nurse them. If it was, for example, if it was like a sort of soft tyres, you maybe have to nurse them a little, but in this case, he doesn't have to. Buckle, unfortunately, not agreeing with that track. That RB, unfortunately not set up right. Yep, and exactly what you said, the top three all do have penalties, so depending on how things go, Onsu just has to stick with the cars ahead, and he'll be able to, he should be able to manage to get up there. At this rate, as many as that, Buckle and Dirty Taffy both have 15 seconds worth of penalties. Jay, unfortunately, having 12. That's not the best when that happens, of course. I've had tracks where I've had an insane amount of penalties before. One track that I was really bad for was Qatar. At the Circuit of America, Sector 1 was a blooming nightmare there. I was not a fan of that, to be honest. But this track, I will say, is another one of them where it's high speed corners, and well, it's very easy to. It's you're threading that needle constantly, making sure you've got the right line, the right speed, because that's the thing. If you don't get it right, then that ends up messing your race right up, and you could end up having something like this happened where Ricky Maru now gets past. Of course, many points did not mess up. It was just because of the DRS. So, he unfortunately has been overtaken. The Mercedes swap places and also get past Buckle, who is a lapped car. So we'll have a look at the gap to the leader right now. Onsu is technically net first right now. Well, not now, net second anyway. He's brandishing on that edge there, just playing about with it. But Steve is holding Onsu up right now. And that's certainly not what he's going to be wanting, of course. The more Steve holds Onsu behind, the more that it's going to end up increasing that gap ahead. 3.5 seconds is the gap now. He's lost half a second to Ricky Maru at the start of this last wee bit. Difference in tyre compound, yep, you could definitely see the difference in the tyre compound. And there we go, Onsu now past Steve now. Let's see if he's got what it takes to catch up to Ricky Maru. He's got within that gap there. Now, if he could just carry that momentum onwards, and he could quite possibly be getting that first place. We've got a yellow flag. Benji and Jay swapping places. The yellow flags are going to be for Buckle yet again, after it's not being their race, unfortunately. So we'll move further down. We've got GT Gent coming through and up into turn 1 in 11th place now. Is the Sauber going to be able to fight back any? Nope, doesn't look like it. Chuck Norris having to wait behind. That's the first time Chuck Norris has ever had to wait. Benji Blackhat still close to the back of Jay. They'll be just assisting each other along. Of course, Jay already knows that Benji's got him beat right now with the deficit in penalties right now. So Onsu's pulling away from Steve, trying to get that gap closed down to first place of Ricky Maru. He's going to at least get second. Jay pulling away from Benji. He is on the quicker tyre with doing that offset, so there is that. Chuck Norris and Gent. We've seen a yellow flag in sector 1. Who's that for? Is that for Buckle again? Yep, it is, letting drivers past. Chuck Norris now could be going for a move for this 11th place, getting payback on the Alpine driver that done him dirty last time and overtook him with the DRS. And now Chuck Norris up into 11th place now. Absolutely smashing there. Now, who is going to be managing to walk away with the lead at the end? We're on lap 22 now. Onsu just has to try and reel in as much as he can. Of course, this could be going to his favour nearer the end of this stint. So he's going to have to try and rein it in as much as possible for now. Just make sure not to abuse track limits and hope for maybe Ricky Maru to end up making a little mess up. But right now it looks like Ricky Maru is actually going to be walking away with the win, as he's 3 seconds ahead of mini plates right now. Sorry about that there, folks. Jay and Benji swapping places there. Did notice that. Mel Dave into the pits for a set of soft tyres. GT Gent and Chuck Norris going side by side, going into turn 1. GT Gent on the inside, Chuck Norris on the outside. Who's going to be walking away with it? Into turn 2 they go, and it swaps back, and then it swaps back again with Chuck Norris on the outside, and he manages to get that 10th position. Nicely done there from the Silver driver. Big slide from Onsu. Did miss that. Actually, just looked down for the briefest of moments. But yeah, so he's gonna hopefully manage to keep in that gap to Mini. Has Steve only got 3 seconds worth? Yep. So your prediction is sort of coming through at the moment. Mini could be a way to get it, depending on what happens with Onsu here in the closing few laps. We'll go on right now. ARL up 5 places right now. Onto the penalties. So Onsu, Speedy, Chuck Norris and Floyd being the only drivers to not get a penalty. I think he got it wrong with P2. Yeah, but it could be quite possible, but then again, maybe not. Considering, just as I said that, Onsu gets a 3-second time penalty and the race is on. The top 5 all have 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So, it is all evens now. Yep, exactly what you said there, Tyler. It is game on. 5 laps to go now in this Grand Prix. Who is going to be walking away with it here? Steve smells them hopes freshening up a little for that 2nd place. Jay and Benji swapping positions yet again. Just trying to keep boosting each other along. Jay and Benji right close to each other here, and they're battling it out there. Getting right close to each other there. But right now, we're focusing on with this gap up ahead. Onsu in 3rd place there, right on the back of Mini there. We're just watching on board from Steve as we're coming around the final corner to start lap 26. And it looks like Mini is the one who is vulnerable here, but Steve has got that overspeed and is going to be moving into second place. He's got the inside line going into turn 1. Who's going to be walking out with it? Onsu managing to carry that momentum around. Steve getting a bit of a wobble there on the exit, but manages to keep it going and carry that momentum through. Is he going to manage to get that up into turn 4? No, he holds off. Looking on right now, your prediction may still come true. All it takes is a little slip up from Onsu here, and then your prediction could be spot on. Oh, and there was a big slip up there from Mini, who went in a bit too quick there, going into turn 15. Hasn't received any damage, fortunately enough, but Steve has dropped back from Onsu. Looking on at the tyre situation there, Mini now getting past and up into third place. And well, maybe now it's back to normal. That was a couple of laps ago. Is Mini going to be able to catch up to the back of Onsu? That is going to be the question. Oh, Dirty Taffy into the pits, going for that fastest lap. Are they going to manage to get the fastest lap? Of course, Bucko going on another set of softs also is quite a way back, unfortunately for them. Looking at Floyd, looking at the back of that Williams. Going to move further up as we see Jay and Benji right close to the back of each other. Let's see who is going to be walking away with a podium trophy. Jay getting another 3-second time penalty. Of course, they're going to end up dropping down just, I think it's going to be just 2 places that they're going to end up dropping down. Quite possibly, maybe behind Speedy Spud. Only driver right now who has not received a penalty is Chuck Norris. And this driver, I've got to say, I've got to take my hat off to them up to now. Not managing to get any penalties. Let's hope they can manage to keep it that way, as they could look to possibly move up a couple of places due to that. Move back up. Lewis getting a time penalty there, a 3-second there. We'll have a look at the penalties there. So it's Lewis not going to be really affected by their penalty situation. So on board with the mini plates here. As they're rounding the final corner, they're going to have the DRS going on to the final lap. They're going to be using all of that battery, but so is that Williams, which isn't much left. Who is going to be getting it? Is this going to be one of the final overtaking opportunities? And he tries to throw it down the inside. It doesn't work out. Steve was having a look also, but now they're going to be going all out here on the run down into turn 4. And it looks like it's going to be Onsu who's going to be walking away with it here. You can see the Ferrari and the Aston Martin going side by side. Contact is made at turn 4 between the two of them. Steve goes into the side of Mini Plates, and Mini Plates still manages to keep that third position here. just wait and see how things are going to go in this battle here. Is Steve going to be able to manage to move up? Is Onsu going to hold on to that second place? Is Mini going to be able to move up? All will be unveiled in the next few corners. We're just coming up to the end of Sector 2. Ricky Maru is already in Sector 3, just coming around turn 14 now. Who is going to be walking away with it right now? Ricky Maru is going to be the one to cross the line in first place, with Onsu in second, Mini Plates third, with Steve fourth. But we've got one more corner to go. Is it going to go all smoothly for these drivers? It looks like it is for Ricky Maru. It looks like it has for Onsu and Mini Plates and Steve. So across the line they come. This absolutely incredible. Ricky Maru walking away with that win there. Onsu in second, Mini Plates third, and fourth for Steve, the newcomer of ARL, managing to get that fifth position. Nicely does it. We've got Jay in sixth. Unfortunately, having a lot of penalties will move down quite a bunch. Benji up to sixth, does take that position. Lewis in seventh. Jay will probably move down behind Speedy Spud here, and down and into 10th. Buckle getting another penalty, unfortunately. So there we go, Speedy Spud just managing to get past Jay there by 7/10 of a second. Just nicking it at the end. Gent getting into 10th. Whoa, is Mel Dave going to be able to get that final position in the top 10? Nope, he isn't. And Chuck Norris finishes down in 12th. Oh, did he get one at the end? No, I did miss that. Oh, I did miss that, but there we go. Seeing Ricky Maru, Onsu and Mini up on the podium. Nicely done from the three of them, including Steve there, who just managed to miss out on the podium there. Let's see, did he actually get it? He did! Oh, that's absolutely destroying. So, unfortunately, everyone ended up with a penalty, so no one ends up feeling not included anyway. Ricky Maru, though, getting the pole position, getting the fastest lap, getting the win. Incredible. Walks away with the full shebang. Onsu getting second place with Mini in third. Then we've got Steve in fourth. ARL fifth, up from 10th. Nicely done from them. Benji Bucket in sixth. Seventh for Lewis. Speedy in eighth. Jay unfortunately falling down to ninth after having a boatload of penalties there. Jen in 10th. Mel Dave in 11th. Chuck Norris staying clean until the very last end there in 12th. Floyd in 13th. 14th for Dirty Taffy, and Buckle finished in 15th, 2 laps down. And I will say, that is absolutely incredible. Yeah, Chuck Norris would have been driver of the day for me if he never managed to get that penalty at the end. But yeah, so absolutely incredible racing out there. I'm glad that everyone managed to get around safely. We'd never seen any safety cars or anything like that, so that is always very good to hear. Next week, though, with WWR, we are going to be at Bahrain for a sprint race. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be live again for Rise Motorsport, and that's going to be is that Jeddah? Yep, it's going to be Jeddah. Sorry, for round 2 of their season 2 Make Your History. So that's going to be a short qualifying 50% race. So tune back in at about 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and I will be live again. Until next time, though, everyone stay safe, take care, and it is peace out from me.